this boils down to who got it and where. Were people? You think that people before the giving of the Torah should have had the Torah? Like, how does that work as far as an ethical standard?
What do you mean should have
Me-
had the Torah?
Meaning, why wasn't it Adam? Here's the garden. Here's the Torah. If the Torah is the essential way to live your life.
My whole explanation on Genesis chapter 3, between Genesis chapter 3 and Exodus 12, is man trying to decipher ethics on his own. I mean, that's essentially what the snake told Eve, that by eating this, you'll know the difference between good and evil, just like God does. You can be essentially ethical without God. So it seems that when God told Adam that you shall live by the sweat of your brow, that means you're going to have to figure everything out on your own. Genesis chapter 3 to Exodus chapter 12 is just that. Men trying to decipher ethics on his own. And this is the prophecy or the statement where it says that the time is going to arise when you're going to be in a similar situation. And now Judaism teaches that the snake is man's evil inclination, that this is going to arise again and is going to tempt you to try to be ethical without God. But Mount Sinai, which is what I believe Genesis chapter 3 is prophesying, this time is going to arise when I'm going to, in some way, rebuild this bridge. Because Adam had Torah, but the Torah he had was essentially walking with God. He had the voice of God in his ear. By God giving us the Torah, Mount Sinai, he's in some way going to equip us now to crush the head of our evil inclination that tells us that we could be ethical without God. So absolutely, from Genesis 3 to Exodus 12 is God trying to show us that we need him to ultimately be ethical.
Do you think it's a literal accounting of events, or it's an allegory?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I believe in 6 days
Because if
of
it's
creation and one day of rest.
literal and not an allegory, then then you'd have to retract on prophecy, because God's prophesying an event that people
Oh, no,
will
no.
accept this law as He gives it, meaning He knows that they're going to accept what He's giving.
Right. So this is why I said that after the Torah was given. So after the Torah was given is when the standards of prophecy were put into place.
But did God know the future before the Torah was given?
Not necessarily.
Like,
I
is it
mean, he may
all
have took an
predestined
educated guess.
exactly? Because He's like, I set it up this way. That's why I know what's going to happen, not because I know the future. Is that the
No.
standard?
But that could definitely be an educated guess. Saying that, you know what? I see that you stumbled here. Nobody wants to make themselves subject to some standard they didn't develop for themselves. But I'm going to show you that as hard as you try, you're going to fail. Maybe because I created you and I know how you function. So I'm going to equip you so you won't have this problem in the future. And this is Mount Sinai prophesied.
Interesting.